Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in the previous YouTube, I have shared the force rising from ground in Wing Chun practice, which is recorded in the Wing Chun 1850s writing. And today I'd like to continue on on the Wing Chun jing. Wing Chun jing, like for example, fa jing, the term jing. So what is jing? Well, it is very simple. It got nothing to do with mysterious stuff. Because this world is a causal system. There's a cause and there's an effect, and we need to know what is what if we want to be able to reproduce it. And it is not that difficult. The issue today is in Chinese Kung Fu, in Wing Chun, in past 100 years, people creating fairy tales and all kinds of stuff which they don't know. And today's Chinese Kung Fu, like Wing Chun, it turned into movies, it turns into cult. Also, it turns into theater dance. And of course, it's big business. It's no longer the Chinese martial art like founded by General Qi Ji Guang using for the fighting. So what is jing? Well, jing is really simple. Jing, it is directly be able to translate to physics. Jing is force. Okay, jing. In the Cantonese gang, in the Mandarin is jing. That is force. Okay, force. Like or strength. Like in Cantonese or in Mandarin, li, meaning strength. So strength is strength. Like for example, if I grab something really, really hard, I have to use strength. This strength have no direction content. That's called strength. I exert the strength. I squeeze really hard. What is jing then? Jing is just strength with direction. So in physics, it is force. It is strength with directions. I want to strike in these directions. I want to exert force into these directions. So just make life easy for everybody, okay? Don't get into all those theater, movies, fairy tales, cult, and all those wasting time, okay? Or business or whatever. Force is just jing. Strength is li, period, okay? That's how the Chinese define it. The Chinese real martial art define that, okay? That's the definitions. Now, in order to deliver or generate or issue jing or fa jing or dealing with jing, one need to know the following 4 mechanics. Okay? If one doesn't know those 4 mechanics, it means that one do not have the basic fundamental of handling the force or jing. Period. Okay, so this 4 I'm going to share with you. It's the mechanic. It doesn't matter is the Chinese 450 years ago or today in America. Human is human. The world is based on Newton's law. It's physics, it's biomechanics. So one need to know these 4 things I am going to share with you. All of them has to be able to be handled, or else it is hopeless. Okay? So with this, one can screen out who is playing business on whatever they don't know, just making theater dance, making movies, spreading fairy tales, which you end up that you screw everybody. Now, why do you need this for? Why do you need to know this? Well, of course, if you don't know this, you will never be able to handle what is jing. You don't know what it is. You cannot create it. You cannot generate it. You cannot deal with it. You don't even know what your opponent is doing. Now, so an example, you need to know all this 4 is like in car, right? Car. There is front engine, there are front mid-engine. Due to their different characteristics, a race car or a city car. So for example, you have a Ferrari. Why is a Ferrari feel different when you drive that compare with a Honda Civic? Well, because of engine difference and the characteristic is different. But if we know the car, we know there's the engine, we know their combustion system, we know their electric system, we know the gasoline system, then it's easy for us to see, oh, this is Ferrari. Why is it different than the Civic? Oh, because the engine is in the middle. Oh, a Civic have an engine, it is in front. And you have the center of gravity, all sorts of stuff. Okay? So just analogy with this. Now, in Wing Chun, the jing, in today's language, there are 2 types of mechanic we first need to know within the 4 things I'd like to share with you today. The first is, as last time I shared with you, there is the force rising from ground where you are playing with the action and reaction force generated by your body downward to the ground and upward. And also, there is just simply moving your body with your feet is act like just supporting your body. There are 2 different things. One is injecting action force and play with the reaction force, so forth. One is just moving your weight. Now, the first thing on Fa Jing one need to know, is it one generate this jing based on moving one's body, moving one's body weight. That's one type. The second type is to inject your body weights, generate force down to the ground, and play with the action and reaction force. So there are 2 types, the 2 basic types in Wing Chun. The first type is called the body type. You generate that force by moving your body. Okay? The second type is you generate that force by generating the action and reaction force via you injecting to the ground. Got it? One is moving your body. One is injecting down and up. So there are two types. Okay? One is just solid, you just move your body weight. You generate the momentum, from the momentum you generate the force. One is you generate the force here via your body and you inject it down to the ground as an action force, and it come up as a reaction force, and you play with it. And of course, you need to move your body in order to get the momentum to generate the force going down, and you can play with the reaction force, or your opponent pushing you, you use that to generate the force going into the ground, and you get the force out, including yours, and you play with it. So there are two types. One is you just moving your body. It's called body type of force generations, body type of jing generations. Another one is the force flow type, or the force transfer type. You transfer the force. Okay, so there's body type and the force flow type or force transfer type, two types. Okay, got it? One is just moving your body. One is you have to generate the force going down to the ground and coming up. And of course, you can mix these two. But these two, body type and force flow type or force transfer type, this is the basic type. You can mix, play with it, but you need to know these two. Okay, so that's the first thing I share with you within that four. The second thing is the 7 balls, which is the mechanics of handling the force, the jing. Disregard of you are the body type or the force flow type or force transfer type. So force flow type and force transfer type, they are the same type. And the body type, where you move your body weight. Both of that you use in Wing Chun, you need to use your 7 balls, meaning that your joints and your muscle, the 7 ball is from your sole, your ankle, your knee, your hip, your shoulder blade area here, your elbow, and your wrist. This 7. Of course, your spine is within it, but this 7 is the one which is you play around. Spine is too fragile. It's like your transmissions of your car. You don't go direct crashing to something. Okay, you need your wheel, your shock exhaust system, your chassis, all kinds of stuff. Not the transmissions, the gear. You don't use that. So that transmission, the gear is like your spine. So don't mess around with that. You're going to damage the entire car if you going to crash thing into your transmission or the gear and so forth. Okay? So, this 7 balls, you can look at it like the wheel and the shock absorbing, all those kind of stuff. Okay? Or your car support and so forth, your frame support and so forth. Now, this 7 is the ancient language. In today's language, there are 2 things there. So, there are 2 things there in today's language. One is called continuum, mobility and stability continuum. So the 7 ball can be described in today's biomechanics and physics in 2 things. One is called the mobility and stability continuum. It turns out that our joints, our 7 balls, each have their different function in the human body. Human body is designed that. For example, the elbow, this is a stability joint. That's why in Wing Chun we say, well, you have to sink your elbow. Those because sinking your elbow meaning stability. Now this shoulder is a mobility joint. You see, it is about mobility. This is about stability. You cannot turn this thing too much. So it's not very mobile, but it be stable. This is for mobility. You need to turn it. So the function is, this one is mobility, this is stability. Okay, again, this is mobility. So you from the under the feet up, you have mobility, stability, mobility, stability, mobility, stability, interchange like that. So to use the 7-ball, we need to know if it is a mobility ball or mobility joint, we use it mobility way. If it is stability joint, you use it in the stability way. You don't want to use this as a stability, then it will cause you to lose all your flexibility. You don't want to use this elbow as a mobility joint, then you get locked up because it's not designed in nature for that. So there is the mobility and stability continuum. You need to know your body, which joint, how you use, how to pair them thing up to use. So you be able to, if you know that, you know how to pair them up and using it. When you play the Shulin Tao 1850, you actually exercise all this thing. You test it out, you fine tune it. Okay? So if you look at, say, for example, the Shaolin classic saying that from the feet to top of the head, it actually spin, torquing for attacking and defending. Or it is a snake engine per, it is the Mei Shi Zhuang. All of this is actually fine-tuned and playing with the stability and mobility continuum, or else it's hopeless. So anybody say Wing Chun has to put your elbow here to generate power and everything, and ignore the entire thing, and you have the structure and all this thing, it's called, they don't know what they're talking about. This is for stability. It's not that you have to be sinking your ball and fixations and everything. It's just stability. I can have this and still stable. I don't have to do this. Okay? So, that's the first thing on this 7-ball. The second thing on the 7-ball is, the 7-ball is actually the mechanics for a kinetic chain transfer. This is physics. Kinetic chain transfer. So what is kinetic chain transfer? Kinetic chain transfer is a sequential process. A sequential process passing force and momentum through the body segments. So, kinetic chain transfer is a sequential process so again, kinetic chain transfer is a sequential process passing through the force and momentum through the body segments, which is your 7 bolts. It got nothing to do with energy. It is passing the force and momentum. So this is the second thing I like to share with you. The first thing is there's the 7 ball, there's the Wing Chun 1850s mechanics. The second, and within the mechanics, you have the continuous and stability continuum, considerations of how to use the 7 balls, and or I should say, proper use of your 7 balls via the via the mobility and stability continuum, and you have the kinetic chain transfer. Okay, so 7 ball, under the 7 ball you have the mobility and stability continuum rules you need to follow because of human body, and you have the kinetic chain transfer which you have to follow. That is the physics. So in biomechanics you have the mobility and stability continuum. On physics you have the kinetic chain transfer. This is 7 balls on top. Okay, so 1850 will tell you 7 balls. Today, 2026 in Silicon Valley, I tell you that there's 2 things there inside there. If you don't know how to handle this kinetic chain transfer and the mobility and stability continuum, proper balls handling or joint handling, you're screwed. Okay? So there's a second thing. Now, the third thing, in order to generate the force, there are 2 general ways. There are 2 general ways. It could be the body type or forceful type for these 2 ways of generating force, or it can be a combination of forceful type or the body type. And the 2 way is, one is linear. You go, it is a linear momentum type. Okay, your body, your CG, you go in. Okay, again, this can be the body type or the forceful type, or a mix of the body and the forceful type. But you just go linear. You just go linear in. The second type is the torquing or the angular momentum type. So you can look at it as to generate this force, there is the linear momentum type and the angular momentum type. Now, angular momentum type is you torque and you snaps. There is the characteristics. The linear type is you strike in and you strike. Okay? So these are 2 types. Now, Wing Chun at the close contact fighting, sticking body short strike, is specialized in the torque type, because it is this close, you're using the torque or angular momentum and the snaps to generate that force. Okay? For the long distance, usually is the linear type. Of course, you can still combine this linear and the linear momentum and angular momentum type if you're good at it. But you have to know this thing. Okay? That's the third thing. The fourth thing is you need to know the force you generate. Is it meant to move the target away? Like the Bruce Lee's inch power, move that person away, throw him away, or any so-called jing, or The strike is carrying the force which is penetrating but not moving the target much. For example, in a car accident, if you have airbag in a car accident, and the body crashed to the airbag, and you bounce back, you have a big displacement of your body. Now, those are the one which is you moving, the physics which is you are moving your target, like the Bruce Lee inch punch demonstrations or any jing demonstrations. And as in the car accident, if there is no airbag, you slam to the driving wheel right away. You slam, and right away, you stop there. You don't move much. And that force go into your body, causing internal organ damage there. That is the second type. So one is the moving the object. The second is not moving this much, but you want the force to penetrate. Now, it's like when you play with the heavy bags. Your punch or your kicks is that you're going to sweep the heavy bags away, or you get the heavy bag not moving much, but the force is penetrating it, and you can see that the heavy bag is like a concave inside there. Okay, after you punch it, it's like you create a concave or convex, like you just bend the thing inside. The heavy bags, you cause the heavy bag to like have a mark of your fist, or you punch the heavy bag and the heavy bag fly away. There are two types. So this is the fourth thing I like to share with you. Yes, there is a control. Either you want to go fly out, or you want to get the object or the target not flying out, but the force penetrated. So in 1850s Wing Chun, you need to know these four base, which today I share with you in physics today. You need to be able to reproduce it, or else you don't know what is fudging. Now, if you know this four, you really experience it and so forth, you'll be able to analyze your opponents. So if you look at a Tai Chi guy, he do a fudging, you know what type is it. You know how is that happen. If you see a Western boxing friend doing strike, you can see that, you can analyze that too. So this is what I like to share with you on the jing of Wing Chun. Of course, I share this with you. It's meant for educations, meant for you understand what is going on. It never is meaning that after you learn from what in my YouTube, you go damaging other people or hurting other people. Those are not the goal of this channel. Though, just look at it. Wing Chun is a Buddhist art. Everybody knows that it is from the monk, from the nun, whatever. And it is true that it's from Shaolin, the Zen. In Buddha's teaching, we know there's something called cause and effect. Meaning, what you give out, you're going to take back. You use this type of stuff to damaging other people or injure other people, it's going to come back to you. Just look into the history. Nobody is exempt from this. Okay? So in the Chinese, it say that those who know how to swim, dead in the water. You play around with that. What you give to other people, you're going to take back. We have to be careful on this. This is real. Okay? There's no best fighter, macho, or anything. So today I share with you this jing stuff. Here on with Wing Chun base, you can analyze whoever held the Fa Jing in this world. You can see through them. Why? Well, since 450 years ago, it's like that. General Qi Shi Guang be able to analyze the Japanese warrior. You want to make a war, you better be able to analyze it. But analyze it again doesn't mean that you're going to hurt people, you're going to play like a bullies. You're not. Like Qi Shi Guang, all the military is for protecting the people. So this is what I like to share with you. So hopefully Wing Chun here on, these 4 things I share with you can be in internet, can be in AI database. We know this is Wing Chun, and also we know that we have to follow a rule. This is for your health, your protections. This is never being using for bully to make you best fighter or to injure other people. Martial art, like Wing Chun, the proper martial art always come with a moral code. That's why we call it Mo Tak. It's not just talk. And because people know this very deeply, this 4 is just the beginning of the thing. What to prove? When your opponent be able to analyze you. So, you want to talk about best fighter? This, in Chinese, the General Guan Gong is one of the very good fighter. What happened? He got ambushed. So who cares you are fighters or not? The best fighter or not, people ambush you. You're gone. Same thing, the Japanese pirates have the great warrior there. But the General Qi Shi Guang using the Mandarin duck array, 5 persons to take out them within seconds. So number 1 is not what we want. We want to understand things to help ourselves, help people. Not to get gung-ho, I'm the best fighter, I'm what this, and bully, and act like a big bully. So this is what I'd like to share with you today.